Okay. If everybody's still getting notifications, one in particular, there's no reason they shouldn't be getting notified. Anybody, for that matter. Marsfield, what's good with you, brother? Morning. Did you get a notification? 420? Morning, morning. What are you guys doing? My motherfucking legs are sore. You believe that shit? From fucking playing VR with the kid. Pistol Whip. There's a game called Pistol Whip. And it like takes you like kind of like first person roller coaster perspective. So it's got obstacles. So you got to get like low and like pivot to the right, like back to the left, and then like come up and like it's like crazy, right? And you got to fire dual pistols and like all this. It's pretty crazy, but it's got good music and stuff. Gets you going. My legs are sore as shit right now. You got it? You got it, Marsfield? Yeah. Hell yeah, it's not bad, huh? Gets you active, right? Gets the old cobwebs off the old fucking kneecaps. Fucking dust the old kneecaps off. Move them or lose them, right? Fucking move them or lose them. No sleep yet, huh? I got up. I just got up. Well, not just. As a oh shit. As a young father, you know that when I say I just got up, that means that I've already fed, changed, burped, and slept the baby again before I even step away for a second to myself. My would break. Hyper Dash, huh? I don't even know what that is. I was playing Walking Dead Saints was it Saints and Sinners? I was playing that last night until about 2 in the morning, something like that. I was getting into it again. It's kind of creepy. It is creepy. It is very fucking creepy. Creeping around a house and then you just run into something that you gotta stick through the fucking forehead with a shiv. Then it's like the process, right? Like you get bit, like you gotta push the thing off of you, pull one of your weapons, and fumble with fucking trying to individually load bullets into the cylindrical chamber, chamber around like you would with a real revolver. And you get bit, you gotta pull a fucking bag off your back, open it up, pull a bandage out, wrap your arm with the bandage, find something to eat, and then hold it to your mouth as it, goes through the whole fucking process, the animation of you eating. It gets pretty crazy. It's pretty fun. Good stuff. That Walking Dead is a good one. Yeah. Reloading while trying to shake and bake a zombie. Oh man, bro, I'm like the ultimate retreater. Like I know exactly where to turn and like backtrack around corners and stuff. So the whole time I'm like doing stuff, I'm healing, I'm regenning my stamina. You get hung up on something in there, man, you're dead. Yeah, fuck, dog. That the reload that Val Kilmer, the work he put in for that movie, I think that shit's still being used to train like combat situations. Uh, I think they're train. Use it to train officers, if not officers, then other military personnel. Like they really break that shit down. They're like, look, this is be like him. This motherfucker is a bad motherfucker at it. Be like him. He's an actor. He was a dedicated actor. Man, I saw two things already. I barely got on Facebook, man. I've never been on Facebook. I never get on Facebook so much that when I switched over from my what is it called, a notebook S10 Plus, something like that. I switched over from that to this Galaxy, or not Galaxy, S23 Ultra. Yeah, I switched over to that, and I still had to go through the whole process of reconfirming who's fucking trying to open what account from which phone, all that bullshit, right? Just did that finally, and I've been switched for a few months now. But I opened it up. First thing I see, some chicken shit officer shooting somebody's dog right there in the fucking street. I was like, oh, nice. That's great. So then you scroll over, right? Next video. It's like some couple black guys come running up to their house. You see the ring camera. He's this guy running up. He's telling his younger sibling, go, get in the house, get in the house, right? He's like, why, what's up? He steps back. He gets into the house. They both get in the house. They close the door. In the background, you see a cop come sliding to a fucking dead stop, come running out, full booking it all the way up to the door, kicks the door open. As soon as the door opened, he immediately mag dumps on the fleeing suspect, right? And it's like, wow, it's just popping this morning, giving you all types of fucking reasons to get and fall inflamed. Right? Get you all inflamed. I think that's largely what social media is meant to do. It's meant to show you whatever it is you're looking for one, right? Yeah. Shit's nuts. So I have to stay away from those games. I get too hooked for some reason. I get motion sickness from them. Yeah, I believe that. That's badass. He was a good one in the Thunder Heat Heart and Felon. Yeah. Team Death. Like Halo. Oh, and motion sickness flying on a sled. I used to be on Facebook a lot. I like connecting with other fans of my favorite bands from all over the world, but then I started getting really bad grief problem. Damn. Yeah. Damn. That sucks. Unfortunately, that is. Yeah, we don't claim them. We as men don't claim them. Like, how socially inept do you have to be to think that your strongest foot forward is a fucking. Uh, oh, man. Good old fucking side profile view of your Johnson. That shit's crazy. That shit is crazy. They just don't make them like us anymore. Back in my day, right? Back in my day, we had to pass notes between classes, meaning you had to spend the entire class writing the note in your own writing. Nowadays, they just send a dick pic. Where's the foreplay in that? Tick Barnesville. Yes, I am. Exactly, dude. That's exactly what it is, Marsfield. That's exactly what it is. I have never in my life liked gunners, or anybody who doesn't immediately do something about it, because the whole, like, this is just flat out, this is everything laid bare on the table, right? You're forcing somebody to be an unwilling participant in your sexual gratification, right? Whether it's making them aware of what you're doing while you're doing it, or making them be visible to you while you're doing it. However you want to chop it up, it is unwanted sexual activity, advances. Uh, call it what you will. It's grape. At the end of the day, it is grape, and we treat it as such. The Native Americans have always treated it as such, immediately, right, without prejudice, or was it with prejudice? Right, whichever is more extreme, the more extreme version of that, because that's exactly what it is. If a person wants that, they'll ask for it. I don't know how anybody could think that they really want that. This shit's raw. That's wild. Stop getting on all the time, and I no longer accept friend requests unless I've told that person to send one. Oh yeah, I don't do the friend things on Facebook and all that. Like if you follow me, that's fine. That's cool. But it's a lot, right? It's a lot giving people that much access to you, direct access to you. Cheech. Word is he's gentle and uses baby oil. That is the word, isn't it? Where's the other Cheech? Where's the other half, Cheech? Where's Chong at? You guys do your wake and bake yet? Most of the time, like 98% of the time, they aren't impressive at all. I don't know why they would do that at all. And, that's that's another thing too. Like that's pretty crazy. We got one in the chat here who's clearly offended by the fact that I would talk down on somebody that would do that to another person, whether that be male or female. But I guess I'm a P Diddy victim now. It's so funny. You can always tell as soon as they open their mouth, they immediately expose themselves. Think they got a saying for that? I'm just chucking rocks. If I hit you, holler. Right? Well, there you go. I'm surprised we haven't seen Snowplow here yet. She really isn't getting notified, is she? Exactly. He probably is. That let's so. What's good? NB, what's good with you? It is. It is that let's so. Or I don't even know how to say your name, dude. I could almost read it backwards. It would say so SD felted. Yes, I am. NB. Hope your day is going well. What makes you believe you are an anarchist, if you don't mind me asking? Well, I feel like if anybody is going to be one, Native Americans would probably be the first to be expected to be one, right? Especially one who's seen federal prison, especially one who is actively getting kicked out of max security prisons, like numerous. Like numerous, like made it all the way up to one step below Supermax 80X. Maybe somebody like that, you know, maybe somebody like that would put an anarchy sign on their face. More than all, Christ is king. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna argue with you, Savage. I will not. Do you speak the native language? Is there one? Is there one in particular, or are you referring to my own? Because if you're talking about my own, yeah, I can say, oh, wakbamini watipi alo ikitita miye. Would you know what the hell I just said? It's the name of a fitness guy. Oh, okay. I don't get why they think you look like Danny Trejo. You don't look Mexican. Hey, it's a compliment to me. I'll never tire of it. I'll never tire of it. Danny Trejo is like the ultimate look tough guy, right? Yo, literally, he was hired on the fucking spot just to look tough. They were like, "Hey, want a job? You look tough." And he was like, "I am tough, eh?" I just picture him there in a leather biker vest, sleeveless biker vest with a big old Salma Hayek tattoo on his chest. Like that's just his whole brand right there, right? If a motherfucker could ever become as immediately recognizable for doing nothing other than just existing to be an ugly son of a bitch, yeah, you should be so lucky, right? A native language should be the official language of the country. Damn, dog. I thought I was an extremist. Damn. Hell yeah. He hangs out a lot at one of the casinos here. Yeah, he's a good dude. That's what I've heard. I've heard. He's not been nothing but a good dude. Down to earth. Real. I mean, the dude walks San Quentin, right? The dude walked San Quentin yard. That's all that needs to be said. He didn't get out and continually rely on that to get where he was either. Dude got out and just made something of it, really. Made something of it. Oh yes. Oh yes. Here they come. That means it's working. It is working. We are all up in the algorithm's guts. All up in that lower intestine. We are not among friends. We all used to speak to each other using Indian Sign Language. Yeah, they say that language came from down south. I was just looking at something. It actually spelt. It actually spelt. What is it? It's like P, right? Or is it like? I forget. I think it's like this P, and then it's like AULA. It literally spells Paula, but it's like a gold little row of hands. And I showed it to my kid, then I showed it to my girl. I was like, "Do either one of you?" My girl could almost figure it out. She pieced it together, but the kid is a teenager, almost 18 years old, didn't know what the hell he was looking at. I was like, "Damn, that's literally a lost language." Like I learned that as as a gang member. Like that was required of me. Like I had to learn sign language as a gang member in prison. That was because like there's a lot of situations where your only communication is to be able to visually see each other from 20, 30, 40 feet away. And a lot of the times you're not going to be able to hear each other. Either there's COs that are going to intercept whatever's being hollered down the fucking tier, or somebody that's going to get got is right next to either one of the parties present. Um, and a lot of the times, other races, they're just not going to. They're really not. They're not going to take it upon themselves to learn something like that, like extra curricularly. Was it? Is that yeah? Extracurricularly on their own, unprompted, without a knife to their neck. And so it's really it's a hell of an advantage if you can read and spell sign language. But as somebody who has had yards in federal prison, yeah, I had to learn it, and I was very surprised to learn that I still can do the whole alphabet, even because no matter where you go, geographically, different ethnicities have different alphabets, right? Um, I forget the real S, right? I think the real S was like something like this. I can't remember now, right? I think it's even like you might even twist something, but you'll have other races. They'll go like this, or they'll go like this. This is an S because it's like S silence, like sh, So they do an S, that's a silent or whatever, I don't know. But some of them will go, a lot of them will just do S. It's very unoriginal. Uh, then there's proper, right? But you got to learn proper. You got to learn proper sign language first before you go on to other stuff. Good morning, Sir Mac Daddy. Welcome to the live. It is sad to become a stranger in your own land. Well, I definitely don't want to be, you know, revered and anything more than anyone else. Dave, welcome to the live. Good morning, sir. Very efficient, huh, bro? And that's badass. Different styles, yeah, for sure, for sure. There are no atheists in foxholes. It's funny that you say that because seems to be the only time anyone suddenly entertains the idea that we are not alone is when they are in great peril or pain. Pain or peril. People find a religion real quick. Yeah, Kevin, this isn't the most religious channel. I'm sure there are more channels more deserving of your message. Nobody seems to be religiously challenged over here. Yeah, yeah. I looked at his chat that I had with him on the messenger yesterday, and his profile is like completely shut down. It's like not available on Messenger. It won't show you anything other than our conversation and stuff. So he really is taking a break. But like I said the other day, that's to be expected because he said that he had had some real revelations while he was here on the channel from listening to me. He said, and that can that can throw you on. That can definitely throw you, right? It can throw you through one to suddenly realize anything, anything drastic. It's just going to take some time to level out, um, re re reassert himself, just kind of rebalance, figure out what's important, do some real soul searching, I guess. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with taking a break from social media. The fact he can do that is highly commendable. Most people wouldn't. Most people run to social media. They need that external they need that external input and validation. Ah, I got spit up on me. Fucking hell. Jennifer, good morning. When you have those profound moments, you got to take time to process exactly. Yeah. And we don't even know, we don't even know if it's purely, influenced by anything to do with social media or the channel or anything. Something could have came up. Maybe, somebody came back into his life. I mean, who knows? We can only, what they say, you make an ass out of you and me when you assume. So much misinformation online. It's good to get away back to truth. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Too hopeful. I just ate a whole jar of peanut butter. Do I have your respect? um, I don't know. That's intense right there. That is intense. Yeah. Be a little quieter around here. Oh, that school's back. School back. School started back up. So I have one less body around. That tends to kind of suck, huh? Jesus Christ. Pretty nice out, anyways. What's up, Jeff? The parasocial world is becoming the reality, and I am not for it. Yeah, people need real in-person communication. Exactly. It's exactly it. Yeah. Whatever it's not sustaining. Whatever it is that they're finding on the web, it's not that alone. There we go. Snowplow. Good morning. Good to see you. Did you finally get notified? It's been about 27 minutes. Why? Yeah, school started here too. It's 110 degrees out. Jeez, that's hot. It would be great if you wrote your experience in a book. I started a book. How old was I? If I had been 21, 22. Well, anyways, when I went to state prison, I got sentenced to 10 years. And almost immediately, I think like literally within the first 3 or 4 days of being in state prison, I would go on to physically assault one of the guys on my state case, or no, my state case, on my Fed case. And I was on state charges, but I knew a Fed case was coming, and they had him in there next to me on protective custody. I wasn't indicted yet, but still, they shouldn't have put his life in jeopardy like that. But I think that they were baiting me with him, and it worked, right? Because I put hands on him, and they gave me 10 years for that. So even if they didn't have enough to convict me for being a big time drug dealer, the uh, the assault alone would have got me a 10 piece by itself. It did. It did give me a 10 piece by itself. It was just overshadowed by the 14 years from the drug involvement. So, but they fucking whopped me over the head 10 years for putting hands on him because I knocked his tooth out and I collapsed his transorbital. And he had to have reconstructive dental surgery, and they were mad at me because yeah, ultimately he wasn't supposed to be there. He was there accessible by at least 3 or 4 other individuals that were charged in this conspiracy that I went to prison for. None of them wanted anything to do with him though. And the North Dakota max security prison out here does boast to be protective custody at default, like right at default setting. They say that they are safer than most places, I guess. And they do, right? They do. They got a good fucking they got a good boot on the neck of their population because everybody still got TVs in their cells. They still got PlayStations, like original PlayStation ones grandfathered in. Some of them have boom boxes. You got hot pots, hot plates, fucking, like whatever you want. And they even started selling Game Cubes before I left. I had a GameCube. Okay, so I mean, like, all you want to do is sit in your cell and fucking leave everyone else, go do your thing, go politic if you want, go fight over that fucking table. I'm gonna be in the room playing Tony Hawk all fucking night. I just came out to get some weed and some ice cream and pizza. Fuck all of y'all. We have pizza and an ice cream parlor there. Like I ran the ice cream parlor there. Like that was one of the perks of being a part of the reigning native gang in that prison at that time. I was given the most lucrative fucking job there was. Why? Because I came in swinging. I came in swinging. I came in putting in work. But that's where I was going with this, right? I immediately went to the shoe. 6 months, right? Got affiliated, came back out, put in work, went right back to the shoe. Another 6 months. Got out. I was out for a month and a half. That's when I had the job in the ice cream parlor. They were leaving. They're gonna leave me alone. They were like, "You're good. Just chill. We got you a nice job. You already put in work. You've proven what you needed to prove. Now you do time." And my affiliation actually paid you to get your GED and stuff like that. They set you up with a nice job. They really wanted you to do well. They encouraged you to participate in sweat lodge and all that stuff, like spiritual ways, not just religion, but like your way of life, your original way of life. And yeah, I mean that was that. I mean that just the fact they pay you to get your GED alone is 10 times better than any other affiliation out there. You know, but yeah, they as soon as I got out of the shoe, they deboed somebody into giving me their TV for like $10. Look, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's some ugly aspects to it, right? There's some ugly aspects to prison, but there's a reason. There's a reason that you're either the weapon or the victim, right? So if you choose to be the weapon, you're gonna have perks like that. When everybody else is paying 180, $200 for a fucking, a see-through plastic ass TV, and I get there and I get somebody's gonna sign it over to me for $10 and say, "Thank you. Can I have another?" uh, that was crazy. I'll never forget that shit. But it was while I was in the shoe the second time I started writing myself a book. I was only talking about what I had just went through, right? Like literally what I just experienced, which was being 19 years old, in charge of literally $1 million worth of dope value and money combined. It was insane. I had literally taken over this fucking state, the state next to me, all the way down to Colorado. Like pretty much, yeah, yeah. There's a reason we got indicted, right? It's not because I'm native. It's not because it was on federal land. No, we had made a lot of money and then broke up and dispersed, and they had to find out about it after the fact, a long time after the fact. And when they found out about all that afterwards, they pursued it. But it was just it was an experience, and I had to process it. So I started to write basically like a whatever it was. It had the power to get me in a lot more trouble, right? Because there was a lot of stuff that they didn't know about. There's a lot of stuff that they'll never know about, right? There's a lot of stuff we got away with. Um, and to write anything like that before I was even sentenced was extremely stupid. But I had written by hand a few hundred pages. I had written by hand a few hundred pages. I wish you would write a book some days. You have some fascinating history to tell. Yeah. Barn Dog, good to see you. You wasn't looking. You did get it? Okay. Yeah. Erebus, welcome. 10 years, yeah. You've had a zygomatic orbital. Oof. Is that rough? The other Gromy? Randall, you're great at reading a room. I have my moments. Takes a lot of work being this good. Nice. Yeah, it pays to stay out of prison. It sure does. It absolutely does. I grow gateway drugs. Nothing wrong with that. I have nothing wrong with that. I am a avid enjoyer of that particular legality. Luxury prison, exactly. Yeah, your culture keeps you grounded. Yes, it does. Thank you, Snowblow, for the gifted membership. Hey, it went to Barn Dog. Couldn't have went to a more deserving member. Barn Dog has been with us. He's been around since the very beginning. Glad to see him still. I'm glad to see how it panned out. Right. We don't need everybody from every channel to cross over to every one of us. You are an inspiration and pillar to the community. I appreciate that. That's probably a bit strongly worded. It's probably a bit strongly worded, but I appreciate that nonetheless. I'm not from Canada, no. A. Everybody, let's subscribe, smash that like. I thank you, Snowplow. You're a Passamaquoddy Indian, Wabanaki, like Penobscot or Maliseet. If you're just throwing words out there to see if I know you're lying or not, I have no idea. Tiwu Tube, shout out to Cobra. They. Oh, Sophie comes in there. She said she's a they. Not they, them. Can I get a what's up? Bahart Sunlars, TND. Martinez, welcome to the live. I went to an anarchist gathering once, but you couldn't buy beer with real money. You had to buy anarchy money to buy the beer. That just sounds like a lot of extra steps to be difficult. Legal loophole, Randall. The way you're not selling booze, you're selling anarchy tokens. Ah, okay. That does. That's right, because you would have to have at least a vendor's license, right? Not only that, but there can only be so many establishments that sell liquor in a state at once at a certain time. All right, or is that just specific to certain areas? I don't know. I'm not a legal area or anything like that. I just know a thing or two. Sounds more like capitalism. Yeah, do what you have to do. You're one of the most stand up around. You don't fake it to make it. I respect it. That's what's up. Then my uncle and a bro both told me you're 100. Oh, that's right. You're the one who had somebody that you reached out to in the feds. I forgot about that. That's for me. That's happened a few times, so it's not like I would remember who specifically said that. It's happened to me a few times. I'd give up listening to Ozzy Osbourne to end sickos. I don't know, man. It's the Prince of fucking Darkness right there. I don't know if you can make that kind of decision. It might be a little above your pay grade. At work listening, that's what's up. Do you ever make drink combos or dank food hacks? I am not. No, I haven't ever done anything like that. Summer, good to see you. Welcome to the live. Saw you on YouTube the other night after you had left. Grub was saying how great your channel is doing and what a good chat group that gathers. That's what's up. I'm glad that that's clearly observable. When it's the usual crowd, yeah. When it's the usual crowd, even I mean, the usual crowd consists of people who just wandered in here one day, like some of y'all that are here today. Um, some come in to troll and end up becoming a fans. I've converted a few, right? I have converted a few of these motherfuckers that came in here to talk shit for one reason or another. It was just purely in the way I responded that impressed them, or they sat back and listened. Something though, right? They seen, saw, and they ended up coming back. The lives have been extremely, and I think more than anything, it's being accessible enough for a person to get an actual bead on you, right? Like you can only tell so much about somebody who you only see once or twice a month, like I have been doing. Um, yeah, I think there probably was some. There is some what do you call it? Strategy behind making yourself. What do you call it? I'm just brain farting right now. Distracted. A rare commodity, anyways, right? Don't oversaturate the market with yourself. That's what I did. But everybody keeps saying you got to upload daily. Got to upload daily. Go every day, go every day, go every day. And if there was a time to try it, it would be when you motherfucker gets laid off from your job, right? So I did. And the numbers don't lie. I am a full believer in number game, the numbers game. Numbers don't lie. They really don't. And the stats for my channel after I started doing these lives is impressive. What's even more impressive is they're just fucking freestyling, like, they're just freestyling topics, whatever pops up. Freehand. I was also famous for freehanding my art in prison, too. Now I'm out here online freehanding conversation. Yeah, I liked being on the YouTube streets though the other night. I was kind of bummed that I had to take off. I don't go on there very often, as you see, and but yeah, I really don't have much to offer when it comes to the whole Mackenzie Sharilla fiasco. I just know she did some dumbass shit that guys have done the same shit like that, right? Guys have done the same thing and came to prison and nobody cared, you know. Um, if their family is still talking to them and they're still getting support from the streets, then that says more than anything else, you know. What can you do? They're in there for murder, murder or attempted murder, and in the world of criminals and convicts, that's that's more of a requirement than it is a strike against you. We assume that if you weren't before, you should be by now willing to take a life. It's just another world. It's another world in which that's just the admittance fee. It's literally the admittance fee to be able to sit at those kinds of tables. Everybody here has to know that you are willing to fight and die over what comes out of your mouth. Um, Otherwise, you're nobody. If you want to go, through your entire prison vid, a nobody, you're going to get treated very badly. very badly. You love Kelly Osbourne, but she looks so sickly. Did she get that? Yeah, she went that Ozempic route, right? What is that red patch on your hoodie? Ah, element, elemental. That's what I was trying to ask you the other day. I think I said it wrong. Oh, okay. Morning, David. Good to see you. That was because you didn't have the little guy to show off. Ah, yeah. Shame on you. Stoicism. Yeah. Oh, huh? Good to see you. Happy Monday. Stay blessed to you too. Keep your head up. What's up with all the back and forth drama between content creators? I don't even subscribe to any other channels, but their shit keeps popping up in my feed. It all seems a little ridiculous. Oh man, it all has a long running history. It does. What in the world? 1 second. Oh yeah, snowplow. We're all good. Um, you're bouncing, bro. Mike, he's sleeping right now. That's the reason why I'm out here smoking. The freestyle, yeah. I like it. I like the fact that people are comfortable to come in here to hang out. And a lot of the times, you guys are just chopping it up with each other in the chat now, which is like the best thing for me because you guys are connecting. It's a community, right? I built the community. That was the part that my channel was seriously struggling with. And I think that's what needs to be worded better for other people. For other people that are building channels, it's extremely important for them to create their own core audience and have that support where they have people that are invested. Like you got to have people that are personally invested to mod your channel. Like I didn't have any mods or anything like that. Like I just felt like I didn't need them because I don't do lives and like no, all these things you can't do it alone. You really can't. You really can't. It doesn't pay to try to do things alone, and that requires you to swallow pride. If you're a proud person, then it's gonna be a long time coming. I'm quick to learn. I'm real quick to learn though. I'm extremely adaptive on the fly. Yeah, you saw me on YouTube streets. Yeah. We all look at each other like fam, Dave. We see you like fam too. Plug was saying he's hoping to get you more often to provide commentary from a prison perspective. Yeah, I do. I said that I need to go over there more often. He has a huge platform. His chat was huge that night too, but I had to jump off real quick and help with the. They were taking care of the kid, and then we hadn't eaten yet. I didn't realize that they hadn't eaten yet, and I feel like an asshole being on the live talking about, oh, I'm I'm all this and that, and my family's starving and shit. So I just immediately just like, bam, I gotta go. I didn't even sign off or nothing. I just left. It's important that they see that, right? Because they're so they're so like considerate that they won't they'll go hungry because they don't want to disturb something that I might have going on. And it's not like I've like fucking cracked the whip at them to the point where they're like that now. They're just super considerate. But I have to show. That's why it's important for you to show them. I will choose this over y'all without even a second thought. You know, and yeah, because I had said something. I had texted one of them. I was texting with them while they were talking in the background. And I asked them if they wanted me to make something, and they said no. Go ahead and do your live. And then I heard one of them rustling around. I heard them open the fridge and the freezer. And then I heard nothing, and I'm like, they're not gonna make anything, not on their own, not without me. I'm gonna have to go and make something. So I did. I really am genuinely touched by how supportive it's been for me going through the sentencing for my fiance. Yeah, that's really cool. I was really glad that we were able to help with that, because I know when I got sentenced, I was dead ass alone. I had nobody. I had nothing. And my I had an ex fiance, and she was out here on the other side. You know, nothing. I had kicked her to the curb. I had forcefully kicked her to the curb. Broke up with her. Um, I was trying to prepare her. I was trying to prepare her for being used against me, because, like I had said before, they had arrested her while she was with me at one point, something completely unrelated, and they hemmed her up, and they told me that the grand jury might feel inclined to bring her in to see what she knows, and asked me if I thought she could handle that, if uh, if our little relationship could handle that. And I was like, oh, okay, so they're gonna use her against me. I was like, all right. So I had immediately decided right then and there that I was gonna have to break up with her and get as far away from her as I could. If I could get her to hate me in the process, then even more the better, because it would make it that much easier for her to do whatever she had to like, I didn't want her trying to, like, I didn't want her trying to, like, buck the system for me. I didn't want her trying to do any of that. It was already beyond any attempts by her to salvage or anything. Like, we were so fucked. There were so many people involved. There's so many people telling. We were so fucked. And at that point, it was just important that she got out. That she just got out, wasn't involved. But yeah, it's fucked up. Getting into some ministry. What are you smoking on, brother? I'm smoking a strain called Tony Montana. My vape is over in the room right now. I just got my regular nicotine one right here. Oh yeah, like I was saying though, so yeah, we fell out, right? We fell out before I went to prison, and when I got sentenced, I was already in state prison. But when I got sentenced, I did call her to tell her that I got 14 years, and as you all know, well, some of you, that was like the best possible outcome, right? That was like the best possible outcome that I could have gotten, because most of the time people get their shit ran consecutively. So that was already an extremely rare instance, and I was more than ecstatic, right? I was still going to get out of prison in my 30s, right? That's doable. That was doable. But she had been paying attention to what everybody else was getting, and everybody else was getting 3, 4 years, maybe 5 years tops. They were telling. All of them were telling. And so when I got 14 years, she was like, "What the fuck for?" I was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "That's good." I was like, "That's fucking good." Like, you have any idea how much time I was looking at? Like, no, you don't, because we're not talking, but still, like, I was looking at a lot of time. And she was like, "Yeah, but Little John this and Big John that and Zach this and this and that and Trevor got this." And I was like, "Damn, she's really keeping track." I was like, "Yeah, but they told." And she was like, and you didn't. I was like, no, of course not. And I realized it was this conversation right here, right now, that I realized I could never tell her. I could never tell her that it was her uncle that they wanted to know about, or it was my goddaughter's, it was my goddaughter's parents, or one of them, that they really wanted to know about. They specifically wanted to know about three people, and third one was whoever I had planted in the courthouse as a clerk. I had a clerk courthouse on the payroll. Well, I had, what do you call that, blackmailed her into it. And so she was just, the agreement was I would stay out of her house and thereby keep her pay pig of a fucking husband on a leash elsewhere. But it was a crazy situation. I got her to agree to that just so that I would stay away from her house with her kid. But once I saw that it was a family home, yeah, no, I wasn't gonna post up in the fucking basement and continue to sling out the basement. But when I was first brought over to this man's house, I was shown the basement. Right, you go down to the basement, and that's where you hang out as a guest, even if you're a drug dealing guest. Right, you don't go wandering around. You don't go check the rooms. You don't. You know what I mean? And after you get brought to this place a few times, then you start asking questions. Then you start realizing there's more people here, and then after a few times of getting told to go up to the refrigerator to grab something out of the fucking fridge, you happen to run into the missus for the first time without the boyfriend or whatever, right? That's the type of scenario that I'm explaining. And it was there, she knew exactly who I was as a result of working in the courthouse, I'm sure. And the first thing she told me was that this was a family home. But I'm thinking her husband is a fucking, what do they call those? Trust, trust kids, fucking trust baby, trust fund baby. Insane. It was absolutely insane. Starving them kids. What's up? Yeah. Did he get sentenced? If so, I hope it wasn't too bad. He got 12 years, Barn Dog. Good morning, bro. Good morning, Nicholas. Good to see you. Hey, Gary. Good to see you. Yeah. When you get that PSR, show that number. It's like, damn. Yeah. Yeah. That's unfortunately true, Barn Dog. Once you cut ties with a lot of stuff, things get a lot better. I'd rather do Fed time than state any day. Yeah. I don't know anymore. I don't know. I do know that if I ever get in trouble again, I'll be a state case, and I would never be afraid to go back to my state prison. My state prison, actually, my state prison might immediately lock me up as soon as I touch down because of the way that I left. I had gotten segregated 3 times within 18 months. And the third time, the warden told me not to ever worry about coming out of isolation or ADSEG, administrative segregation. He said, "Don't ever worry about coming out ever again." He goes, "You're done." He goes, "3 strikes, you're out." He goes, "You're done." And I was like, "I don't give a fuck. I'm going to the feds. I think I fucking care." And I ended up just effing myself over because he could have held on to me. So long as my state sentence was running concurrent to my Fed time, he could have held me for as long as he wanted until my state time was up, then paroled me. So if I would have did 10 years of state time and I already had 14 years to do total Fed time, I could have potentially spent only a few years in the feds, probably in FCI. I would have never saw any of that shit. But what did I do? Ran off into the fucking sunset with the most lucrative fucking gang position I could fathom. Yeah, you tend to find exactly what you're looking for. I was looking for I was looking for a gauntlet, a ring of fire, something to prove my metal on. Something every young man is going to end up doing at some point. They're going to feel compelled to test themselves, to fight, to represent something, anything. I had tried to explain it once before. I had somebody explain it to me. He had described it as something to do with calling it the five mechanisms or something like that. But it's not what it's called because I've tried to look it up and Google finds something else. But there is like five major roles in the human, right? The human psyche, right? There's like five major roles. There are always going to be teachers, right? People who pass on knowledge, people who crave and seek and pass on knowledge. There will always be teachers. There will always be healers, right? There will always be people who gravitate towards these types of roles, right? There will always be like artists. I think that's probably the one I was missing. There's always going to be like artists, right? Builders, and there's always going to be some type of enforcement, military, some type of control, um, soldiers, officers, stuff like that. There's like five main roles that we as humans will always gravitate towards. Whether we find a way to do these professionally or not, you will, one way or another, do it either in your spare time on your own, or you'll find a way to outlet it in your life. But I was always supposed to be a soldier, right? I was always supposed to be an enforcement of some sort. And if we don't find it on one side of the fence, then we find it on the other side of the fence. And I did. I ended up fighting my war, right? I ended up finding my band of soldiers, and I did. That's it's interesting, right? When the guy broke it down to me like that, I was amazed. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like there was a lot of truth in it. A lot of truth in it. Yeah, that's straight barn. Fake the fact that we had before he was arrested was me tripping out for that reason. Damn, it's a long time, Snowplow. Congratulations. That is a testament to us all. It was until after he was arrested that I finally got it. I felt so bad for acting like a crazy chick. That's all right. Mike Bruchette, welcome to the memberships. And thank you, Barn Dog. I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, yeah, we have a great community, Snowplow. You have a large part of that. Large part of that reason is because of you building that block by block. Raising a kid into nepotism. Yeah. Yeah, 12 years. With the course that's wild, yeah. Yeah. I love the fact that I cut off my family, so much less drama. Sometimes that's unfortunately necessary sometimes. But like I said, sometimes it's strategic of you to lessen your presence and thereby influence in some other people's lives, especially when they've come to rely on you too much. I appreciate that, Gary. Yeah, fam can't do time with you sometimes. You have to do things that hurt no matter what. Yeah. That's good. He's a very positive person, 420. It's going to take a lot of that. It will take a lot of that. You consider yourself a teacher as an artist and an artist? That's right. That's right. Snowplow, you tell him. Well, let's see here. Yeah, there's some of these comments aren't deletable. You should be able to say your mods are tripping. Mods comments are hurting the channel. Be useful. Well, they've taken a disliking to you. What did you originally come in here saying? Because trust me, it's usually not an issue. Hey, we got some New Zealand in the house. That's what's up. I appreciate it. Yeah. Left Eye Jack, I've seen you in here before. Okay, you got 2 appointments showing up. That's what's up. School Naps, good to see you. Welcome to the live. A nonprofit. I can see you doing that for sure. Actor Gangster, Danny Treyu. You already know it. You on Instagram yet? No. No. I want to share my coil knowledge. Ah, I mean, yeah, I'm on Instagram. I just haven't been on it in a while. Okay, yeah, I figured that. Yeah, sometimes if they don't, if you come in on some bullshit, you've just shown what you've had to offer the conversation. But they haven't abused it yet. Can't get yourself the ire of one of them and then complain about it afterwards. Outside. Go on. Move. Oh. What you doing, sir? What are you doing? Yeah. What are you doing awake? What did I tell you about that? What did I tell you about being awake? I'll be back for you. Better be asleep when I come back. quiet. Let's see here. But I even talked with Brad Daw a few times, and he's the master, in my opinion. Yeah. Do you get to tattoo much, my dude? Not lately. I'm trying to lean back into it, though. I'm trying to lean all the way back into it. I took a break because it was necessary to set aside my own goals and aspirations. But it might be time again. Yeah, 420. You got to keep explaining yourself, not to me. If I see something, I'll say it. Y'all know that. Bro made a scalping joke in bad taste. Do your friends or fam stick by you through the years of prison? I kicked mine to the side. I didn't have friends or family to begin with. I had people that greatly benefited from my personality at that time. But imagine my surprise. I was all of 21 years old, doing back-to-back 6-month stints of isolation at a time. And I came to the realization that I didn't even know who the fuck I was. I didn't know what I would do or what I would say from one moment to the next. I didn't know that I wouldn't tell. I didn't know that I would take whatever fucking time was going to be given to me, regardless of what it was. I didn't know I would do a lot of things. I didn't know I'd join a gang. I didn't know that I would go on one of my first missions by myself just to prove a point. You don't know what you'll do until those times start showing up. I didn't know what I called up one of my friends, one of the girls who knew me. And I said, "You're my friend, right?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "You know me, right? Like, you really know me? You know what I'd do, what I'd say, right?" She's like, "Yeah." I said, "Do you know where I'm from?" I said, "You know where I was born? You know what my mom's name is? You know how many states I've lived in?" I said, "Do you know anything about me at all?" She's like, "No, actually." I was like, "You don't know me at all, do you?" We don't know each other, do we? Not actually. She's like, "No, I guess not." I said, "That's all right." I wish I didn't do that to her in particular, because she would end up going on to OD. Opiates. And I'm sure she was alone when it happened. Dodie? Yeah. I don't got thick skin. Comments don't mean shit. Sticks and bones. They have to be women to be bickering back and forth with you. Yeah, it is nice out. Right? You didn't know who you were until you started experimenting with DMT. I believe that. White eyes or gray hair. Pitching Indian name. Were you not in a gang before prison? No. Nope. Yep. Opioids and alcohol. They are the worst. No, I was not, Gary. I mean, my cousins jumped me into some shit when I was like 14 years old, but that really don't count, right? At least I've never counted it. I didn't think they existed anywhere beyond that reservation anyway. But they're all GDs down there. They're all GDs. Oh, my legs are sore. Super sore. Oh. It's a good thing about that VR set, man. VR set will keep you active. Oh. Spirit Force activate. Spirit Force activate. Oh. We are in the critter room. Some of them like to refer as my Animal Planet. Animal Planet area. I don't think there's any loose critters. You just never know. DMT let me connect to my past, as fucked as that sounds. Yeah, that's why I tell people that not all hallucinogenics are purely recreational. Some of them are not meant for fun. Some of those are. I almost died just now. Can you move? Get the fuck out of the way. What the hell was I saying? My man and I know each other so well that we don't have to use words to communicate with each other. We know what the other is thinking. Yeah. Yeah. I was on pain pills 15 years. The government cut me off cold turkey. You want to talk hell? That's rough. Absolutely rough right there. I couldn't imagine. That's what they do though. Yeah. So how, Scion, in your prison stint, did you join a gang? How soon? Um, it was after the first 6 month stint because I went into my state prison and I was walking around on the yard. I was actually I was, what do they call that? Designated for the medium. I was designated for the medium prison. So I was only in the max security holdover unit for I suppose it was supposed to be maybe a month or two, just waiting for transfers and stuff. In that time, because it's overflow unit, we're allowed to either stay in the overflow area, which is separate, or we can go down and mingle with general population, which is max security. I was going to the max security to mingle with everybody else, and I had co-defendants that were down there who were already sentenced. Um, One of them got 24 years. My roommate, the guy I lived with on the street, the only other person that I answered to, got 24 years as the ringleader. He handed me a whole stack of fucking testimonies that were being used against us. There was like 20 some people telling on that case. um, it was pretty nuts. It was pretty crazy. And one of those guys who was telling showed up in the overflow unit with us. And I had the paperwork. And so I literally read what this dude was saying right in front of me. We had him on bunk restriction. He had to stay on his bunk bed. I have these stories in my, in my history, my catalog, or whatever they call it. But yeah, we ended up dragging him off the bunk after lockdown, fucking him up real bad. What did you do? Are you hungry again? You better not be hungry again. Don't do it. Don't do it. He's discovering he has fingers now. And so he likes to put his finger right on the corner of his binky and plop it right out of his fucking mouth. Most. Ah, Lord help me, please. Save this child. But yeah. What was I saying now? They, I think I was saying something about state prison, joining the gang soon. Oh yeah, so I went to the SHU for beating up my informant, and when I was first on that yard, my state prison yard, I was approached by every native gang out there. But like I said, it's my state prison. Like I grew up here. I know half the people here. I sold drugs to majority of them. Um, I wasn't afraid. I'm not going to be afraid of not having a place to sit or like any of that shit. They all pressed me real quick and were like, yeah, you're gonna have to decide, and you're gonna have to pick a table where you're gonna sit, this and that. Usually only sit with people you're affiliated with, and I was like, yeah, okay, man, whatever. Talking about I wasn't gonna be able to continue using the weights and shit unless I had a car. I was going in there working out by myself, so I wasn't trying to hear none of that. I was like, yeah, whatever, dude. I wasn't impressed. But when I went to the SHU, while in the SHU the first time, I had come across Native Nation, right? Native Nation reminded me a lot of what I would ultimately recognize in warrior society, right? Warrior society, as some of you all know, I think somebody saw warrior society before and came back to state prison and started Native Nation. That's what I honestly suspect. It was so similar, that it had to have. They had to have, right? Somebody saw that and brought it back and made it into their own for us, the Northerners or whatever. I don't know what it is, but it appealed to me. But they were all in the SHU. That's where all of them were. They were all in the SHU. That's where I met them. And one of them in particular really, we got along real well. We got along real well. And it was after my first 6 month stint in the SHU that I came out and got affiliated with them after meeting one member in particular. That's all it took. Yeah. Summer doll, I have snakes, rats, dogs. Cargo nutsack, moose critters. Damn. Klonopin, the motherfucker, yeah. Sir, I'm not falling for that fake ass cough. How do you get your binkies way down there? You got wait. I'm making milk. Right. They show us how we are all different. Meanwhile, we are all human trying to make it work, right? Only thing that separates us is money. Well, once sold its box in by the 16th in the shoe by getting in heart healthy trace. In my old work, I used to work in the shoe cars. Hell yeah. And spice. Coffee and a good life. Good comments too. Yep. Subs are what helped me get clean at first. Without them, I'm not sure if I would have did it. Absolutely not. Right? That is foolish. Old lock and a sock love. Yeah. Have you ever thought of writing a book? Not so much to get rich, but to preserve, pass on the stories. Yeah, I have. I have thought of it. Damien, the evil child. Do you believe in Lakota? I am Lakota. What do you mean, do I believe in them? Do I believe in myself? What the hell? Last girlfriend was Lakota, bad evil woman. Bro, Native women are dangerous. Just believe that. Native women are dangerous. Women in general. Scorn women in particular. Give you guys a little shot of what I'm doing here. The money shot. Eight. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14 of them. 15 of them. 16 of them. A little white eyes, yeah. What's good, Campo? Campo Rez, how you doing, brother? No bullshit there, no. 3 scoops for me. I'm a lightweight. Yeah. Dad life, yep. My girl said she's getting excited. Starting to show signs of dad bod. Essentially, she's excited that I'm becoming less attractive. Theoretically, anyway. Oh, less attractive. That's me too. Right? Like, I don't know. That's as men, as guys, we tend to. That doesn't exactly work out like that, right? For guys, we tend to get better as we age, for some reason. I don't know what this is from. I don't know if you give him some of the old shit from too long ago, that shit'll go right through his ass. He'll be dealing with diaper rash all over again. I love how I went from like random knowledge of like how to hurt people to like random knowledge of like baby anatomy. It's great. It's absolutely great. I feel like a fucking domesticated hitman or something. I feel like a fucking domesticated assassin. Is that valid? Is that a valid fucking take right there? Oh yeah, it's gone. It's been gone. I've been good. Yeah, Extreme Bikes. Good to see you again. Yeah, I'm gonna let them know. I don't know what was in here, but 50 for it all. It's a fat one too. This feels trickier than it needs to be. Oh yeah, there we go. We all knew that was gonna happen. Hey, Cyclops, good to see you, brother. Welcome to the live. Oh, see, I see. I forgot some comments here. The skin is soul wears. Yeah. Good morning, Sai. Yeah, good to see you. How many hours does the little guy sleep a day? He's sleeping less and less. I think he was up all day yesterday. Pretty much slept all night. I only woke him up to feed him at like 1:30 last night. Otherwise, he would have continued sleeping. But I was able to sleep all the way to like 6:30 this morning as a result. So getting a little better. My my missus likes it more when I'm chubby as opposed to when I'm fit. And her culture, being fatter is a sign of wealth. Yeah, you must have uh, Far East woman, huh? Danielle Garcia, put your jumper hoodie on inside out, then leave it on inside out. Don't take it off. Old Simon Says ass, get your ass on out of here, man. I was on my phone with my man today and I felt this long ass hair growing in my chin. I told him, "Oh no, babe, I'm not gonna have any teeth in every chin by the time you come home." Hell no. Yeah, yep. If you were overweight back in the day, you were definitely more than most. Time to spend more dough on formula? Yeah, it always is. Uh, I don't actually know if you can make dough with formula. I'd be extremely concerned if you couldn't, right? Yeah, 420. I think that's most of their issue. I think most of them have that same issue that you have there with some of us. I'll take an ounce. Yep, no cut whatsoever. We ain't gonna have none of that stepped on shit over here. Eh. What did you get done for you, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, yeah, it was dealing a lot of drugs. The exact verbiage is conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute and distribute a controlled substance and obstruction of justice by retaliation against a federal informant. That's the exact verbiage on my indictment. That's excellent, Snowplow. That is something to absolutely celebrate. She's feeding you good, huh, Sai? No shit, David. That's definitely news. Yeah, good genetics. Good genetics. Just sometimes they are what they are. Oh yeah, I haven't lost it a bit. Fuck no, man. That is crazy. I haven't done that in ages, and I have not lost it a bit. I am absolutely ashamed of how easily I just lined up like three lines. Well, it is what it is. Old retired ass assassin shit. Muscle memory, exactly. Hello. Hey, Chesapeake. Good to see you. Make it sound like a joke. We were very loving towards each other. That's good. I'm sure you all are. Right. The bay they call Yay Yarf. They call it Yay Yarf, huh? Jesus Christ. Yeah. You gonna grab that shit yourself. Bam. I think goat's milk is the best for formula. Damn. That is Gary. That is stuff of legends right there. Good morning, Tara. Good to see you. Barn dog. Tara. Wizzy Whizzaw. I cut down the bushes. The cops kept parking behind. Hey, that's not petty at all. I love it. I'm here for it. We support that and salute you. Yeah, white eyes. You're getting a nice community going. Core support, familiar faces. Yeah, for sure, barn dog. I appreciate that, bro. He's a good-looking kid. His grandma called him a future heartbreaker yesterday. I have to jet, but wanted to say hello. My goodness, that little boy is there. Oh, well, you popped in just in time, Tara. You got to see the whole live highlight. Everybody else in here hangs out just for that moment. I already know. That's why I make them wait. You got to pop in just in time and see it. He's chilling with his morning brew. Yep. Dodie, you're not gonna dig a hole through that damn couch. So we got waterproof, scratch-proof blankets over everything. We got huskies. And if you ever had a husky, then you know. Yep. I appreciate that, Dave. I'd hit a nap just like the little guy. Yeah. He gets plenty of naps. I'll probably nap after this bottle. Oh, hell yeah. Has your dad met your young fella? No, he hasn't yet. I sent him pictures though. Keep him away from the bad cartoons. Yeah, once we start thinking he is even slightly understanding, we're gonna put him on a strict playlist. Only the classics, right? We're gonna put together a whole list of just the classics. Shit that our generation and the generation before us were heavy on. Yeah, I've been taking a lot of naps lately too. No, she hasn't, Sai. I don't. That's something that's probably a little outside of her own capability. But I think she's just about there, right? She's just about at the point where she needs to have like an assisted living kind of arrangement. I think whoever the man that's taking care of her, whatever her boyfriend is the one that's doing that. But eventually, that guy's gonna get old enough where he's gonna need to get taken care of too. He's not gonna be able to keep my mom's crazy ass, you know, alive and kicking at himself. So I'm a big napper, Mr. Rogers. I have a doggo, Argentino. He's got lots of energy. I run with him every day. That's good. Mr. Rogers is so creepy. Yeah, Mr. Rogers was an actual killer, a Vietnam veteran. He just acted like he was nice. Yogi, no kinky baskets. For sure, didn't mean to bring it there. My apologies. What do you think about the old cartoons now being called racist? They were definitely a bit more. Yeah, there's some. Definitely some back in the day. Even Bugs Bunny has done some questionable humor. But compared to nowadays, where we were just talking about it, right? We were just talking about it. SpongeBob will not be on that list. Why? Because SpongeBob became one of those first. It pioneered the path where it was projected to be okay to be gender ambiguous, I guess you could say. Gender ambiguous would probably be the best term I could come up with. Not really one way or the other, something in between, something kind of just whatever the occasion called for. That was one of the first cartoons that made it okay for that to be a personality type. And so, therefore, no, that won't be one of them that he'll be watching growing up. I have more of an issue with that than I do with, you know, a racial joke. Sundown, 2 weeks old now. That's what's up, bro. Jackson Sundown. He used to tame Broncos with Sitting Bull when he was exiled in Canada. Damn. That's what's up. That's some fucking real history right there. But his band, okay. LBGQ Teletubbies, yeah. Give me the Roadrunner any day, absolutely. You're serious about breaking Bronx in with Sitting Bull. That's the coolest thing ever. Yeah, I didn't know that. Not cool about the exile and circumstances, obviously. Yeah, all great things happen for a reason, though. Everything happens for a reason. some like Lion King tribute, tribute for the critters. Not quite yet. All right. I didn't know that. Not cool. Yeah. What else is on the not watching list? I don't know. I do not know. I guess there's gonna have to be some take and give with any of them nowadays. Like, for instance, like I'd be okay with like Ren and Stimpy, but Ren and Stimpy was like one of the first ones that really started to like get out there and like the shock humor, right? Gross humor. Blacks and Indians, yeah. Danielle Garcia, good to see you. That's cool. Baby softens hearts every time. They sure do. Mhm. Just being a dad, yeah. Yo, basically a thirst trap. Thirst trap for women. Danielle, good to see you, brother. Yeah, Ren and Stimpy was the shit back in the day. I loved it. I loved. They were definitely a show to watch. For real, we'll probably just keep them on a good healthy diet of good animes. Some good animes. Yeah, yeah. Daniel Garcia was trying to be annoying. No one paid attention, so he removed himself. Yeah, that's just it right there, right? That's my response. If you know if it's important enough, they'll wait for a reaction. Rim with a cartoon named Johnny Quest. Yeah, yeah, Johnny Quest and fucking Alibaba or some shit like that. Want to see if my nephew will take a picture of the statue in my hometown. Yep, mad respect to Haji. Yeah, that's what it was, Haji. Alibaba. It was Alibaba something he said. I don't remember. Yeah, Flintstones was a good one. Flintstones was definitely a good one. Um, Nobody was confused about their role in society there, right? Then you got the weird ones like Ah, Real Monsters, Rocco's Modern Life, Rugrats. I mean, Doug Funny. Um, what else? Hey Arnold. Like the list goes on, right? Across the Spider-Verse, the best animation I've ever seen. It really is. Across the Spider-Verse, In the Spider-Verse, yeah, all of them are. The soundtracks are fucking banging too. I'll always remember them because the soundtracks were everywhere. I heard them everywhere, and that one of what the first one was coming out on FX a lot, so it was always on. It was always on in the prison, and so it always reminds me of like being close to getting out of prison, if that makes sense. Is that weird seeing me move without walking? Scooby Doo, yeah, that's a good one. The Smurfs. I don't remember the Snorks. Masters of the Universe. He Man. He Man, G.I. Joe, Cobra Commander. Animes are very sexual. Some of them are. You're right ones, yeah. So, but like Dragon Ball Z, right? Like right there. That's this one you can't really go wrong with. If you dissolve a substance in acid and you get gum-like substance that burns away into a blue metal and a silvery metal, what did you dissolve and how much is the metal worth? Huh? Yeah, I'm not sure, Danielle. Yeah, He-Man. Huh. Yeah, Courage, Cowardly Dog. You're talking about Cartoon Network there. That's a whole different lineup. Whole different lineup. Then you got to start talking about Bleach, Trinity Gun, Gundam, Full Metal Alchemist, Courage, Cowardly Dog. Uh, what else? I'm like, that's a whole different lineup right there. Plus, fuck, what were they called? Is it Bleach? No, it's not Bleach. Something to do with vampires, like a demon hand, or one of them. Yeah, he had a demon hand, and he carried around a violin. What is that? Somebody remember that one? Yeah, a lot of them will never know. They'll never know what they missed out on, Dave. You watched all the same cartoons? Hell yeah. Akira was a cool anime. The bike kind of scene used to be for a lot of animes. It's in your hand. It's worth more than gold. Ah. Space Cowboy Bebop. I don't think I've seen that one. Turtles. Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. It's another classic, oldie but a goodie there. Yeah. 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 Yup. Skipping school to watch Goku Piccolo fight. That's funny. Fuck. And then you had like the WB network with Gargoyles, Animaniacs, Batman, Pinky and the Brain. What else? What else am I missing? Cowboy Bebop is best series well before its time. Oh, before I forget, somebody, if you happen to see this, you know who you are. I appreciate what you did. Um, if you wanted to be known, you would you would have said so, but you did ask me a question. I appreciate the fact you called me a thoughtful dude. I did read. Not still a large book reader, but I was a large book reader. And as a result of a lot of isolation time, I have read probably well into over 1,000 books, and that's across all genres, pretty much all genres, everything from um, shit like fictional thrillers like James Patterson's to mangas to what do you call it, historical fiction like Nancy and Stephen O'Greer, or is it O'Neill Greer? They write a bunch of historical fictions, um, all the way to like actual historical events like the Gates of Thermopylae. The Gates of Thermopylae is what actually was what 300 is based off of. The hell was the Hellman's Pass or Hellmouth Pass or something like that. It's just this little area in which 300 men stood was actually like 300 men, 300 Spartans plus their seconds, their slaves, right, that actually stood in this pass and prevented the Persian army from advancing for quite a while. It wasn't until one of their own sold them out on some, some lesser known pathways that they actually fell. But yeah, I've read a lot of stuff, even like maritime kind of thing, like selling routes back in the day when everything ran by ships and piracy and round robins and all that shit. I read everything. I had to live vicariously through these books, and I've took a while for me to get into fantasy. Fantasy was like the last nerd barrier that I honestly got over, because for the longest time everyone's like, oh yeah, you won't catch me, reading fantasy or playing Dungeons and Dragons or anything like that. But at a certain point of like, at a certain point of what we are, what we do, people just ain't gonna say shit to you. you know, like I could come walking into the fucking room blasting Taylor Swift on some CL20s loud as fuck around my fucking neck. Got my fucking homemade Dungeons and Dragons fucking dice in one hand and a fantasy book in the other. Ain't nobody gonna say a damn thing to me. You know why? Because I'll stab the fuck out of them. And they know it. That's why they're not gonna say shit about it. And we finally have the confidence in ourselves to enjoy what we enjoy because of that, right? We've accepted it. We've accepted that I can like this. It doesn't make me weak. It doesn't make me less of a man. It doesn't make me, you know, tough or not tough or anything. You grow up after a certain point. We definitely just grow up. Yeah, here's on H&R Puffin stuff. What was the one with the dog? Hong Kong something? I'm not sure what that one is. Indium and iridium. I got a guy with 30 kilos of this shit. Iridium goes for over 7K an ounce. Damn, that's a lot. Wally, Wally Coyote, Pinky the Brain. What do you want to do today? Take over the world? Yeah, yeah, we figured that, Jessica. The same thing we do every day. Lena Abdullah, yes, I am native. We are doing very well. Thank you. Thank you for your concern. I like Tasmanian Devil. Yeah, Tasmanian Devil is the shit. He's always getting busted with having a stack of books in prison. They'd only let you have three at a time. Yeah, that's right, right? 48 Laws of Power was good by Robert Greene. Then he wrote 36 Laws of Attraction or something like that. Yeah. A lot of that stuff is just kind of like common sense. Like when I read 48 Laws of Power, it's going to sound super like it's going to sound super cocky or whatever, but intrinsically, on some level, if you've ever read 48 Laws of Power, you're going to know majority of that. Like a lot of that you understand on an instinctual level. You just never put it into words like that before, like they did on 48 Laws of Power. But I read the whole book front to back. It even went over the whole, each chapter synopsis at the back of the book. Well, you'll get you pretty much the whole rundown without having to read the whole book if you don't have time for that. But a lot of that stuff is common sense when you think about it. It really is. And you know, the Art of War. The Art of War is definitely a good read. It's a good read. And it's literally going to tell you the art of war. Some of it is kind of psychologically, like mapped out. But for the most part, no, it's literally going to tell you to like, lead your enemy between like two high points and then like attack them from high ground and shit like that. Like it's literally the art of war. Or took it to the next level. Homemade D&D dice. I don't know. I've seen them do it though. I know that they make their own dice in there, and it's definitely a pastime that will fetch you some money if you learn how to make dice. I think they'll take multiple pieces of dominoes, right? They'll stack them together. They'll glue them. They'll glue like three domino pieces together, and then they'll start sanding all the different facets, right? All the different facets, however many sides of die they're trying to make. But it's the domino pieces that are essential to the whole process. 50 Cent came out with the 48 Law book too, called 50th Law. Of course he did. Oh, fucking course he did. I actually wrote a book too when I was like 21 years old. It was How to Sell Meth Successfully. Not my best. Not my best work. Oh, you only do nonfiction? Yeah. Yes. Sun Tzu's The Art of War. Damn, we already well past 2 hours. It's probably my cue to wrap it up. It's about 9:30. Daniel, my friend, tried to get me to read Art of War before I joined the military. I refused. I wanted an untainted view to develop. Later, I had self conceived most of it and disagreed with some of it. Yeah, yeah. And obviously, because that was like literally, it was like literally, I mean, we would have modernized and advanced a lot more since. So you would have more to offer at this point. Here's a documentary called How to Sell Drugs. I had really broken it down. I had broken it down to like a level of like how to handle your neighbors, right? What to look for um, when they're going to get suspicious, how to throw them off, um, having multiple apartments so that one spot doesn't see you there all day every day. Like I had really broken it down, and I had let some of the guys on my tier read it, And a lot of them were like trying to get copies. A lot of them were trying to get copies of that shit. I had really breaking it down on a fucking on a level that it's like people with brains using their power for the greater good of evil or some shit like that. Like that's basically what I was doing. Hello, are you native? Selling drugs for profit is easy. Staying out of prison is the hard part. Absolutely, Trey. Absolutely. It's so much easier to just go back to what some of us know. It's a lot harder to, how do they say, stay steady, stay the course, continue struggling when you know you don't have to. That's why I made one of the shorts I made a long time ago. It shows me pushing one of those 400-pound sofas fucking one-handed, and I'm holding the camera like this, and I'm got this thing and I'm willing it, and it said something about fast money. Fast money is your last money, but slow money is for show money or something like that. I don't know. It said something like that. You're just trying to uplift the working men out there, right? The people who make the choice. Some people don't know. They don't know anything else, and so therefore they don't. The same choice doesn't carry the same weight. They know not what they know not what they know not, right? They don't know what they're missing or how much easier it could be. And that is also a blessing, right? It's fortunate. It is fortunate because it's like getting high and then going back to being sober. There's another way that this can be done. A lot funner way. But you choose to not, just purely because it's a testament to your dignity, your respect for yourself, I guess. But yeah, no matter what, whatever it is you choose to do out there, this is where we'll sign off with this last little message. It's hard being sober. It is. It's hard being sober. It's difficult. It's not easy. But it's also hard getting high every day. It's hard worrying about withdrawal. It's hard burning up all your bridges with people that you can borrow money from. It's hard to keep finding money where you used to find it. The couch cushions are only going to produce so many fucking, so many coins. There's only going to be so many, trinkets and possessions that you can pawn off or hawk away or steal before you're left with nothing. It's hard. It's hard being broke. It's hard being hungry. It's hard having a lot of money. It's hard being rich. Regardless of what you do in this life, it's going to be hard. Nobody said anything was going to be easy. All you have to do is pick which hard you want. And with that, I'm out. Catch up on comments here. Taurus in the hair. Where are the two spirits? No. Life is hard. Choose your heart. Yep, that's it. Life is hard. Choose your heart. Which heart do you want? That's the only thing you're guaranteed in this life. And with that, I am out. This is finally free from federal signing off. Y'all have a good one.